Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
A Vancouver Canucks preview. It's been a while since we did our Pacific Division preview, and I've got them missing the playoffs quite handily. In the end, last year, they missed out by single-digit points. I think 9 points they missed out by. Vegas missed out by 5. And we made our prediction before JT Miller signed in Vancouver, the long-term deal, 7-year deal, which I don't think makes any difference to me. So I went back and I read his quotes, and he said, it was great to start winning in the regular season, but we want to be in the playoffs. And I thought, right there, that tells me where their head is. They just want to be in the playoffs. They're not even talking Stanley Cup in Vancouver. And if you think Vegas is going to get better, I still think Vegas is going to miss, but they think they're going to be better. And Anaheim and LA take a step forward, and obviously Edmonton and Calgary are already in the playoffs. We know that. I think we can sit here today comfortably and say that. How do the Vancouver Canucks fit in? They haven't really addressed the blue line. They've still looked somewhat listless up front. And to me, Thatcher Demko in goal is unproven. So to me, I don't expect a lot out of the Vancouver Canucks, despite this JT Miller shot in the arm. But they are your Western Conference team, so change my mind.
You can buy low on the Vancouver Canucks. That's what you can do. If you're on Bet Regal or wherever you're playing, go to Bet Regal and you can probably buy them pretty low because there's not a lot of risk there. I'm with you. The expectations aren't very high in Vancouver.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Deal or No Deal, CFL edition, Week 13, with the BC Lions at the Montreal Alouettes. BC's favored on the road by 3.5 without naming their starting quarterback. Deal or no deal?
I'll take the deal.
To wind up Week 13 in the Canadian Football League, the Calgary Stampeders visit the Edmonton Elks Saturday night. Calgary's favored by 10. Deal or no deal?
No deal here. No deal.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show on a very special day. It's special because it's Friday. And as our viewers have been pointing out, ball for all. Very little sports besides football today because fall is for football. A lot of gridiron talk today with the experts. In a moment, you're going to have Darren Moose DuPont with us here. I just want to tell you, coming up on the program, of the very popular Cynthia Frelund from NFL Network. I'm assuming you watched all of her coverage yesterday on opening night on the National Football League. She's going to be with us in Hour 1. In Hour 2, our director of scouting, the very popular Craig Smith, is going to join us to talk about all the leagues because he can. That's what he does. That's his job. And also in Hour 2, Troy Westwood, the man behind the name Banjo Bowl. 2003, I believe, was the very first year. We'll get to the bottom of it with Troy Westwood, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers Hall of Famer. That's going to be great. So, ball for all today. Those are the guests, and let's bring in the Moose as I think we're ready to go. Moose, nice to see you. There he is. He's got the Titans jacket on today. I'm going with orange today. Don't really know why. Just felt like it, and I'm ready to go. The Quick Six show horn, please, Director Jordan. Because we've got, as Jerry Reed would say, a long ways to go and a short time to get there. So, number one, Josh Allen passed for 297 yards while accounting for 4 touchdowns as the Buffalo Bills stamped themselves as a clear contender for the Super Bowl crown with a 31-10 victory over the Rams in Los Angeles. Von Miller had 2 of Buffalo's 7 sacks as the Bills opened the NFL's 103rd season by overcoming 3 first-half turnovers and running away with a blowout win. We are going to play NFL Deal or No Deal next segment for the rest of the Week 1 betting lines. But Darren, let's not forget here. Let's get into it for a second. It was 10-10 at halftime. And I don't know, man, I'm not saying I know as much as Tony Dungy, but he was saying what I was thinking. Tony Dungy at halftime, I assume you watched it on NBC. He's like, this is sloppy. These starters didn't play in the preseason. It's evident. They look tired. And all of a sudden, in the second half, the Bills just shifted gears into overdrive. They scored on 3 consecutive drives, and they put it away. That's what I saw. The Bills so far flexed their muscle. What did you see on Thursday Night Football in the NFL lid lifter?
A lot of the same, Rod. Josh Allen looked really strong, even early in that game. He was moving the ball up and down the field, almost at ease, and spreading the ball around to everybody as well. But you're right. It was a sloppy football game with all those turnovers and mistakes. And at the end of the day, Stephon Diggs outplayed Jalen Ramsey. You had Josh Allen outplaying Matthew Stafford. It was a really, statement game for the Buffalo Bills, who are going to be heard from come the new year.
Was it ever? And I'll tell our viewers right now, even though Darren and I have a lot of points to get through all the leagues of football that are going to be playing tonight and this weekend, comment away. 902-518-3033 is the number to text us here in our studios, or you can write in the YouTube chat, and I'll get to the comments as much as I can. I wanted to mention, I don't know why I didn't open this right off the start. Took me a while to get woken up today. I don't really know why. Had a great workout. That kind of woke me up. And then, Darren, I was alarmed. 2 bad things happened today. One, my Manscaped died halfway through the job. Yeah, halfway through the job. How about that?
So you got one of those half bald, half hair kind of looks going on?
But just so people know, I was doing my back, okay? I was doing my back. Nowhere else. So right now, halfway through the job. So there's that. And then I dipped my hands in the Tough Tribe. What do you guys call it? Pomade. Dip my finger. I'm like, hit the bottom of the jar. I'm like, oh no. 2 of our fantastic partners and sponsors here at the RP Show. I'm using them both today, Manscaped and Tough Tribe. And the good thing was I got the Manscaped on the charger. I'll finish the job sometime over the weekend. And in my mind, I was climbing into the shower afterwards going, well, it was a good start. And then, fortunately, Tough Tribe, I did bring a second jar down here. I was smart enough, Darren, to check it and put it under the plane, not try and bring it on my carry-on where they snarfed it at the border the last time I was coming to America. So, yeah, I'm learning, man. I'm learning. Here's your life lesson today. You're going to get a lot of kicks in the nuts in your life until you learn the lesson that you're meant to learn. And until you learn the lesson, you're going to keep getting kicked in the nuts in different ways. There's your life lesson. When something bad happens to you, learn from it. Very good chance it won't happen again. Our poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is this, and I think it's a good one. Which football league are you going to be following the most this weekend? The National Football League, the Canadian Football League, USports, which is Canadian University, or NCAA? Last I looked, leading the way with 58% of the vote was the Canadian Football League. Second place was the NFL with 38%, and then it was USports, and college was a very distant fourth. And my vote is actually college. I've had I'm very blessed to have some options. I could go to that high school game tonight in Fort Lauderdale, but I'm trying to limit my games. I still am to 1 game a week. It's too much. You said, Darren, I don't have to feel the need to be at a game all the time. And I took that to heart. I appreciate that. So I'm really looking forward to going to the Florida Atlantic University versus Southeast Louisiana Saturday night. As I said, it's just down the street here in Boca Raton. The tickets are $9. And I'm still in and out, haven't decided yet on Patriots Dolphins. I think I'll probably go, but I don't know yet. So I voted college football. Got a pretty good idea what you're going to vote for, but what I shouldn't speak for you. What's yours?
Yeah, I'm going to vote for USports football because I'm at the mic and following closely, and there's some really big games coming up this weekend. So it's going to be a really fun college football weekend north of the border.
Isn't that interesting? It's week 2, and they're already important games, and they are.
Yeah.
I got it here. It is my later point, but I'll say it right now. It's you want to say a triple header tonight or a three-peat, however you want to say it. All 3 games this weekend in week 2 are to be played tonight. Calgary at Regina, you're going to call that. UBC Thunderbirds at Saskatchewan Huskies. Kudos to Mason Nias, my best friend's son, who was named the Canada's Offensive Player of the Week for last week. and Manitoba at Alberta. Now, I'm getting out of order, but I just wanted to throw that out there for the Canada West fans, because we are Canada's daytime sports talk show, just inexplicably popular in the United States of America. By the way, I have some thoughts on that, too. You know what I think that might be? I was watching, what do you call it? You know the one with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless? Undisputed. Undisputed. I was watching it. Yeah, I'm sorry. And I try to not be, I try not to be critical of other people in our business or any business. I try not to. But I'm sitting there going, Skip Bayless, I don't really like him. And we're both Cowboys fans. But I'm like, you got a gold watch and a silver medallion over your turtleneck. What are you doing? Why is this guy so popular? And then they got Lil Wayne sitting there. And again, I don't have, believe me, anything against guys with face tattoos or grills. I don't. But I'm just like, what are they doing? They're trying to morph entertainment, I think, into sports. And it's just, we're just so different from what they're trying to do everywhere else. That's why I think we're so popular in America, is we're just not what they're doing in any regard on any channel. Anyways, so to point two, our viewers are voting for the Canadian Football League, saying that's what they're going to follow the most. So let's spend a minute on point two. The BC Lions are at the Montreal Alouettes tonight. Friday Night Football in the CFL, and the BC Lions are favored by 3.5 on the road to Montreal. Have you looked at a map lately? There's a long-ass way to go. And so I do have some thoughts on this, too. Clearly, like the Bills destroyed the Rams last night. Look at the map. So all this talk about, it's on the road, you have to cross the country. Bunk. And BC's favored going into Montreal. I saw the coach and GM of the Alouettes yesterday, Danny Machocha, saying he challenged his team and said, you all need to look in the mirror after they lost at home to Ottawa last week. This is what I would say. Danny, why don't you look in the mirror? That's what I think you need to do. Stop putting on your players. Say, what do I need to do to be better? That's what leaders do. And maybe he has, but he didn't say that to the media. And I think, I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes with the BC Lions, why you wouldn't start Vernon Adams. Vernon is a smart guy. I know him. He's obviously very talented. I'm a little surprised that he's not starting. Coach Rick Campbell said that we'll see him at some point in the game, but Antonio Pipkin starts. I think we're both a little surprised by that.
Yeah, we're surprised. I'm surprised. For sure, I'm surprised. But that could just be to protect Vernon Adams. You want to put him in positions to have success. Nathan Rourke did such great things for this club that you're not in a position where they have to win this game. You're not in must-win territory. Yeah, you want to bank some wins here down the second half, solidify yourself as a playoff team. But this group now is trying to find a new identity with a new guy behind center. So take the pressure off, put him in some positions to have success. And if it's not going well, hey, he was never the starting quarterback anyway. He's still getting acclimatized to this group and this playbook and these teammates and everything else. So I like that from Rick Campbell. But I think we're going to see him fairly early. And if he plays well, we're going to see a lot of Vernon Adams.
A couple comments from our viewers as we go here. Craig Drebbett, he's one of our P1s, Priority 1 viewers. He's in Calgary. He says, I've had a manscaped die doing the other thing. LOL. He's talking about below the belt shaving. Yeah, mine was on my back. And incidentally, I have strapped my Manscaped to a mini hockey stick, a mini stick. It works like a darn. I'm telling you, man, we should market that.
Good one, Rod.
Arlen Bruce, the third's watching. CFL great. He says, it's week 1 in the NFL. Calm down, people. No one's going to peak right now. Geesh. He says, I have the Argonauts versus the Riders in the Grey Cup this year. Who's attending? That's from Arlen Bruce the third. I'm just rhetorically saying that because we're moving on to our points here. And what's next? It is the best. Well, I got to tell you that Rod's rant, if there is one today, brought to you by Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Guys, tell Camco we're talking about them right now. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Find everything you need to know about them. Financing, product information, and more at broncoplumbing.com. They are your factory-authorized Bryant dealer. Heating, cooling, plumbing. They do it all. Point 3, it is the Banjo Bowl. Sask at Winnipeg. I opened the CFL game notes, and it was only for Montreal, BC tonight. What a bummer. I wanted to look at the game notes for the Banjo Bowl, and they haven't come down yet. Not like we don't know enough, Darren, but this is what I was thinking about last night. Winnipeg fans, we have a ton of Winnipeg viewers on Bell MTS Cable. They carry Game Plus. Enjoy every single second of what's going on with your team. And I know they are. I'm just reminding them of that. Because do you recall, Darren, the 30 years, the drought, it was so bad. And the horrific things that happened to that franchise. Just enjoy it. There's, okay, deal or no deal, I'll say it again. I can't remember what you said yesterday. Bombers are favored by 7.5. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I didn't take the deal because I think the spread's a little bit big. The Riders, I said they eliminated a distraction this week. You know, they're going to try and take a step forward. Last week, the Bombers were favored by just 3.5. And I thought, that's the cheapest steal of the season. I'll take that deal all day. And it worked out as, sure, they didn't, cover the spread, but I thought that was a really cheap deal. At 7.5, I'll take the Riders.
And you're sticking with that. Okay, that's interesting. It's funny because the football guys, and to a certain extent the hockey guys, they all want to act so cool, and I think that's because they are cool. But JT O'Sullivan yesterday on the show, when I said, hey, Bill's favored by 2.5 on the road, are you going along with that? And he's like, I'll leave that to you. Here's what I think. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, Johnny Cool. But the fact is, the betting line is a very good indication of the way the game's going to go. There's guys and gals being paid a lot of money, right, to come up with those betting lines. So it's always, for me, been a very great indication. I get why the football and hockey people and baseball people can't get into it. They'll lose their job if they bet, right, and they follow it too much.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget being, I don't know where we were. Corner of an end zone somewhere in the warm-up. And I didn't usually go down to the field before the game. Probably half the games out of the year, I would. You remember Craig Dickinson? You know him well, obviously. I think he was when he was our special teams coordinator. He had his arms, you know how he talks. He had his arms folded, and he just leans there. What's the line, Rod? And I'm like, Bombers by 8. This was like 2 hours before the game. That's how much they pay attention. They don't even know what the betting line is for the games, nor should they know. But I think of that often, Dickie. What's the line, Rod? Eskimos by 8. Oh, okay. And then not like it affects anything of what they're going to do, right, in the game. Not at all. By the way, the text line is open, 902-518-3033. We're going to duck out early here on this break, and when we come back, we'll continue. More football talk on this Football Friday. On the way, Cynthia Frelund from NFL Network. Also, Troy Westwood, the inventor of the Banjo Bowl, and our director of scouting, two-time Grey Cup champion Craig Smith. You are watching on the Game Plus television network and live on YouTube. Also listening at rodpeterson.com and 99.1 WQEE in Metro Atlanta.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Number 16, a legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, folks, it's a Football Friday, and as we talk sports betting, we want to remind you to bring the thrill of the track to your fingertips with Woodbine's Dark Horse Bets app. Its AI-powered insights and strategies help you make smarter bets right out of the gate. Feel the excitement of live stream horse races wherever you go. Download the app for free at playdarkhorse.com. Available for Android and Apple devices. Just a fun way to spice up your weekend. Throw a couple dollars down on the ponies. And it's not just Woodbine races in that app. It's all over North America. The Moose is with us. I'm just going to chuck in a couple other sports here because we're in the warm-up. Sticking primarily to football, but first the Toronto Blue Jays will begin the final stretch of their 10-game road trip with a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers tonight. Toronto's won 6 of its last 7, sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates before taking 3 of 4 against the Baltimore Orioles. Ross Stripling starts tonight. The Atlanta Braves, by the way, the Atlanta Braves are at Seattle tonight. Can you imagine if the Blue Jays met the Braves in the World Series, Darren? What would we do? What would we do? We would not have. Oh, boy.
No, we wouldn't. That would be outstanding, though.
Yes, it would. Yes, I think. Road trip.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, my 5th point was Canada-West football, but we discussed that already. And if you're going to go vote on our Instagram poll right now at The Rod Pedersen Show. I got a poll up there that I put up this morning. Are you going to attend USports football this weekend? All across Canada. If you're going, go vote yes and give them some support. And also, I got point 6. Any hockey notes? And the reason I throw that in there is because while I'm very geeked up for football and fall is for football, hockey is still my number 1 sport. So while I'm pretty darn happy, I'll be honest with you, I'm very happy with things. I'll be happier when the Florida Panthers drop the puck on their training camp. And I got the buddies coming down here that scout for the Panthers, and we'll be at the Ice Den next week for the LATAM hockey tournament. So, yeah, ready for the Panthers to start. And I should mention, for the homies back in the old country, Saskatchewan, the Estevan Bruins and Regina Pats announcing that on Tuesday night, where's my bell? When the Regina Pats play the Swift Current Broncos, God's team, the Regina Pats play Swift Current in Estevan, Connor Bedard will be playing. The Pats have confirmed it. I'm sure you probably saw that, Darren, so everybody's excited. Do you have any hockey notes before we move on?
No, that's very cool. You mentioned the Blades note playing the preseason game up at Big River. They're opening a brand new facility there. So I keep seeing that on my timeline. Very, very cool. The whole community is welcome, Saskatoon and PA up there. So I like seeing these neutral site games early. Communities like that and Estevan get a chance to see some of the stars in the Western Hockey League. So very exciting.
Outreach is where it's at, and they're doing a great job. Okay, before we play Deal or No Deal for week 1 in the National Football League, we got to tell you what's on at the movies this week with Landmark Cinemas. The Invitation, in theaters now, starring Natalie Emmanuel. After the death of her mother and having no other known relatives, Evie, that's Natalie Emmanuel, takes a DNA test and discovers a long-lost cousin she never knew she had. Invited by her newfound family to a lavish wedding in the English countryside, she's at first seduced by the sexy aristocrat host, but is soon thrust into a nightmare of survival as she uncovers twisted secrets in her family. Text MOVIES, now the word movies in all caps, to 902-518-3033, and by the end of the show, we will randomly select a winner to be going to the movies with tickets and treats from Landmark Cinemas. Where are the movies? We do it every week. Does that sound like something you might be interested in? That show, The Invitation?
Absolutely. See, I like a drama with some suspense and lots of twists and turns. So that looks like it'll be all that and then some.
Sounds like a good one. It sounds like it might be better than the Bullet Train, which I gave 4 out of 10 thumbs up. I'm saying go, but don't expect much and pack a lunch because it's like 2 hours and 9 minutes. Anyways, moving on. Are you ready? Deal or no deal? Right. Throw it up, boys. We've been doing it all summer long for the Canadian Football League, and now we're doing it for the National Football League. These are the betting lines from our exclusive betting partner, BetRegal.ca. Please go there this weekend and sign up for a membership. It is free to play, and you can play for free at their Play Free Sportsbook. All right, right out of the gate, our Atlanta Falcons are home to New Orleans at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Saints are favored by 5.5 on the road in Atlanta. Deal or no deal, Moose?
I'll take the deal. I think Saints win double digits over Atlanta this week. I like the Saints.
No deal here from me. Okay. Cleveland Browns at the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield against his former team. The Panthers are favored by 1 point. Deal or no deal?
That's an easy deal. I think the Panthers win this straight up, and I like Baker going into his old team. You?
A very Did you hear what he's going to say? He says we're going to F him up. Then he denied saying it to Cynthia Frelund. I believe Cynthia, just so you know. San Francisco at Chicago. The 49ers are favored by 6.5 at Soldier Field. Deal or no deal?
I'm going to go no deal. It's in Chicago. I think the Bears will keep this close. I still think San Francisco wins, though.
Everybody's down on the Bears. I'm not with that. Not yet anyway. So I'm saying no deal. I'm with you on that. Interesting how much we agree today. The Pittsburgh Steelers at Mitchell Trubisky go into Cincy. The defending AFC champion Bengals are favored by 6.5 at home. Deal or no deal?
I'll take the deal. Trubisky is getting under center, but he hasn't had lots of time. Their offensive line needs a little bit of work. And this is Cincinnati, who you mentioned, I think it was yesterday. Why is nobody talking about the Bengals? They were just in the Super Bowl. They still have lots to prove. So I like Burrow and the Bengals.
I'm saying no deal. I think 6.5 is a lot for week 1. I do. It's an AFC North, the black and blue division battle, and I think it's going to be tighter than that, but that's just me. The Philadelphia Eagles, who I'm already annoyed by, and the season hasn't even started yet, or more so their fans. They are at Detroit, and the Eagles are favored by 4.5. Deal or no deal?
People are sleeping on Detroit, man. Jared Goff took LA to the Super Bowl. He's not, as you'd say, a Rudy Poo, or John Lynch would say. But I still like the Eagles in this. I'll take the deal.
I'm not taking the deal. That sooner or later, Dan Campbell and the Lions need to turn it around, and I think it starts in week 1. At the very least, they'll beat the spread, but I think they might beat the Eagles in Detroit. And maybe that's just because I'm really annoyed by the Eagles and their fans, but that's what I'm going with. A classic AFC South matchup. The Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are favored By 7. Is that right at Bet Regal? It says the Texans favored by 7. You're saying no
Can't
deal?
Be. No,
I wouldn't think so.
Like, I'm going to take the deal because I think it should be Colts favored by 7. And there must be a mistake somewhere. Even still, I'll take the Colts to cover that 7-point spread if that's the deal.
We might have to come back on that. I hand wrote these down, but I'm going to betregal.ca because I don't believe that either. I do not believe that the Houston Texans would be favored by that much over anybody.
No.
Where the heck is it here? Live television, ain't it great? And now I
Did
can't
they
even
sign
find
the
it.
Hulk? Thor?
Oh, it
is
Colts. It's Colts by 7, and that, so I wrote it down wrong. And so how does that change things? How does that change things for you? I'm not taking the bet. I think the Texans will keep it closer to that in week 1. I understand that it's Matt Ryan's first game, and they've got probably the best running back in the league in their backfield for Indy, but I'm not taking the bet. You?
I will. Yeah, I'll take the bet. Usually when the spread gets up that high, you don't take the bet. Usually go the other way, but I'll take it.
Moving on. Down here in South Florida, the New England Patriots are at the Miami Dolphins, and obviously this is the one that's been getting crammed into my head for not just this week, but ever since the NFL schedule came out. Patriots and Dolphins, Miami favored by 3.5 at Hard Rock Stadium. Deal or no deal?
This is going to be the toughest one. I'm going to take the deal. I like Miami at home. I like the weapons that Tua has. He's got something to prove. But I'm not sleeping on the Patriots, though, with Mac Jones in his second year. I'm not at all, but I'll take Miami.
I got Miami to win, too. Are you a believer in these types of things, i.e., the Patriots are 2-7 in their last 9 trips to Miami? 2-7. Do you think that plays a factor into Sundays?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, those trends happen for a reason. You've talked about all the different things, the travel, the heat, going into that stadium. There's a lot of different factors, and they've had some trouble in there. And this is also a team in transition, too, in New England that's trying to find a new identity. So, I buy a little bit of that. And, home opener hype is always a pretty big deal and pretty special in cities across the United States.
Sprinkling in comments as we go. Randy from Winnipeg writes in and he says, the Dolphins are overrated. Hey, trust me, I get it. We did the Instagram live last night with Dan, the Situation Ceravelli out of Philadelphia, out of Philly from Enterprise Sports. He thinks the Dolphins are going to win 11 games this year. And he went so far as to say all the Patriots, Dolphins, and Bills from that same division are going to be in the playoffs this year. That's from Dan, the Situation Ceravelli, who's very good at this. He's a cousin of Frank Ceravelli in Philly. They roll together in packs there in Philly. Moving on. Baltimore at the New York Jets, and this is interesting. The breaking news this morning, you saw Lamar Jackson, the Ravens quarterback, and the Ravens were unable to come to a new deal ahead of today's deadline imposed, I believe, by Lamar Jackson to get a new deal done, and now they're going to walk away from it and revisit it once the season's over. Does that affect this game at all in your mind? Baltimore is at New York. Over the Jets, they're favored by 7. Ravens favored by 7 at the Jets. Deal or no deal?
This is another tough one. I don't know if it's going to be a distraction for anyone, maybe other than Lamar Jackson, but he's going to play out the deal. The reason you're shelving this now into the offseason is so that it's not a distraction during the year. For the Jets, I mean, Joe Flacco is going to come into Baltimore and play the Ravens as the quarterback of the New York Jets. I don't think he has it still. So, I think the Jets are going to struggle to put points on the board, even though, if they were healthy at the quarterback spot, I might take the Jets, but I'll take Baltimore to cover.
Okay, so we're running out of time, and Cynthia Frelund joining us next, so we'll just go deal or no deal fast here, okay? Jacksonville Jaguars at Washington, 2 Rudy Poo teams. The Commanders are favored by 2.5 at home. Washington home to Jacksonville. Deal or no deal?
Deal.
I'm the same, unfortunately. Kansas City Chiefs at the Arizona Cardinals. The Chiefs are favored by 6 on the road. Deal or no deal?
No deal. Cardinals keep it close.
Love it. I will go along with you on that one. No deal. Las Vegas Raiders and Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers favored by 3.5 at SoFi. Deal or no deal?
Deal. I like the Chargers a lot. Really high on them.
Same here. Green Bay at Minnesota. The Packers are favored by 1.5. On the road, Packers 1.5 favorites at Minnesota. Deal or no deal?
No deal. I'm high on the Vikings, actually, with a new coach. I think it'll be really good for Kirk Cousins.
I can't believe the line is that narrow. Absolute deal for me. New York Giants at your Tennessee Titans. Titans favored by 5.5 by BetRegal.ca. Deal or no deal?
Deal. All day. Might be biased.
Same here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Prime time. Sunday night, Bucks favored by 2.5 at Dallas. Deal or no deal?
I'm going to take the deal. I can't not right now. But this will be, for me, a great way to end the day on Sunday.
I will say no deal because I'm the Cowboys fan. So I can't go away from them. And Monday night, it's Russell Wilson at Seattle. I think Denver at Seattle with Russell Wilson. I think we all think the Broncos will win. The question is by how much. The line is 6.5. Deal or no deal?
I'll take that deal. I think Seattle's going to struggle to put points on the board. And, Russell will he'll score 3 touchdowns, 21 points at least, and I don't think Seattle will.
Okay, Moose, your duties are done. Have a great call tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great show.
NFL Network's analytics specialist Cynthia Frelund joins us next. It is a Football Friday on the Game Plus television network. We're live across all 10 provinces and 31 U.S. states. Also airing at rodpeterson.com and on the radio Metro Atlanta 99.1 WQEE, your home of Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM-certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big, and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Well, while airing from South Florida, we are live across Canada on Game Plus Television, and I'm telling you that because a word from our sponsor, Ito Japan. With more than 160 restaurants Canada-wide, Ito Japan is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated for more than 40 years. Cynthia Frelund is a big Canada fan, a CFL fan, and she's the guru of NFL data science from NFL Network. She joins us today on this Football Friday episode, and Cynthia, I appreciate the time. Last time you were with us, we went through your story and why you're a CFL fan. So I want to jump right into last night's Bills win, 31-10 at LA. Did it go the way your simulations and data and everything said that it would?
I anticipated a bit closer of a game and not as many turnovers. I know it's week one, so turnovers are going to be inevitable. But, I mean, even on the Bills side, 4 turnovers and a plus 21 win is kind of unheard of. So I expected a bit of a closer game. However, I did know and I did point to the fact that O-line, the retooled O-line without Andrew Whitworth for the champion Rams would be problematic because the D-line for the Bills is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely insane and insaner with the addition of Von Miller. But, you know, it's funny because Tony Dungy said at halftime, these teams looked fatigued. This game is sloppy. There's too many mistakes and turnovers. You have to factor that in when you're running simulations and stuff. I would think that's the human element that you never can really judge, right?
Well, you can look through the past historical data to see how many days, weeks, reps, how often it takes teams to kind of get back into the full season groove. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say with the now 3 instead of 4 preseason game model, it's a little bit different, but there's always a lot of messy stuff that happens in September, and it's almost equally distributed amongst the league. Now, teams with more rookies or more changed players, they tend to experience more of that variance, and teams with more continuity, they tend to experience less, but it is always kind of the same. We don't play preseason games the full speed, so every single season, we see it all the time. September is a little bit of a messy time.
I have to ask you, you mentioned the shortened preseason, but this is what I noticed this year. Less starters than ever playing positions were predetermined going into the regular season. It's because of salary cap, I guess, and less games. But have you seen how the NFL's approach the preseason has changed over the last couple of years?
Totally. I mean, we used to say everyone was like third preseason game, first half, those are your starters. And then like everything else was sort of not the same. This year you saw starters playing game 1, game 3, you saw them all over the place. For the Bills specifically, they only played in game 2, and it was not for Josh Allen played 1 series in game 2 of the preseason. But I think a part of that, and something we should keep monitoring for the future, is a little bit of like the post-COVID getting back to normal. Because remember, for 2 seasons, those guys didn't have regular preseasons, and you're looking at kind of rosters. Remember, the average NFL career is just under 4 years long. So these are kind of, you're working out some of those kinks from people that you didn't really know so well. So they are giving them a chance to really make rosters in a time where before, past 2 seasons, you kind of, Zoom calls and whatever, it's just a little bit different.
I got to ask you too. So here in South Florida, as I mentioned, the Dolphins home to the Patriots on Sunday. You know that the Patriots came down here on Tuesday. Bill Belichick wanted to get them acclimated to the heat, and Rob Ninkovich saying it's not going to make a difference, but if they think it does, that'll help. What fascinates you about your job when it goes into game prep like this? Not just X's and O's stuff, but stuff like what the coach of the Patriots pulled this week.
I feel like the interesting part is that most of these coaches, they do the same thing. They have the same tricks, just like they might have different tricks from each other, right? Like Bill Belichick's always going to adapt to weather or try to find something like that. This isn't kind of news for him. The thing I do find really interesting are more of the trends. Like, for a while now we've seen increased passing, especially on first down. And then for a while we saw like a lot of man defense. And then now you kind of need to play more zone just based on how all of the slot receivers, all the different things are working and what's coming out of college. Players, quarterbacks from college, like they didn't face such much zone defense. So it's kind of an advantage for the defense. So I'm looking more for like the on-field things, because whatever you want to do prep wise before, like that's best practices. And there are only 32 coaches. So you can kind of keep track of who does what. They come from coaching trees. You see who believes what. But at the end of the day, it's like, let's see what happens when you get on the field with this new crop of people coming out of college. There's some change. We'll see what happens, right? Like the Rams last night, you'd think that they would have been able to exploit the fact that there was no Tre'Davious White, their top corner. But because their safeties are so good and they had such depth at that secondary corner position, lots of turnover. So it's just going to be interesting to see if the things we think actually play out on the field.
Speaking of that, viewer Andrew Stout wants to know if your numbers have pointed to who will be the biggest surprise team in the NFL this year. Do you have a crystal ball on that? Are your numbers telling you anything?
Yeah, look, the point about surprise teams are teams that need to at least make the playoffs, right? So the ones who are most likely to make the playoffs that maybe we weren't thinking about ahead of time, I have the Vikings making the playoffs. That's I don't know if a lot of people have that one. And obviously not a surprise anymore, but the Eagles after the draft, the Eagles gifted up to be the winner of the – are you getting a rainstorm back there?
It's pounding rain here.
I love it.
Pounding
we're about
rain.
to get California too. But anyway, so the Eagles, but I think everyone's a little bit more onto them now than they were maybe previously. So Eagles, Colts, Niners, and Vikings are kind of surprises to me.
Write that down, everybody. Write that down. Randy from Winnipeg wants to know, by the way, we're 40 miles north of Miami, so I don't... Well, actually, the Patriots are practicing 20 miles north of here. So there's probably a good chance they're getting rained on there. They want to know what you think of the Lamar Jackson news this morning, that he and the Ravens couldn't come to a new deal, and the fact that he is his own agent. I mean, it's not unheard of. I've known pro ballers for 25 years, but it is rare. How do you feel about him representing himself?
I think maybe for your first contract at the most valuable position in any sport, perhaps part of the thing that an agent does is to try to find other options if you're not happy with any of your current circumstances. So, for example, contracts can be written in any number of ways, voidable years, what's the guarantee, how much do they have to escrow up front, all these different things, right? That's the first kind of trick that perhaps the knowledge base of your agent would be helpful with. The other one is, if he doesn't want to be in Baltimore, which is kind of, does he want to? Like, it seems like, I don't know, it seems maybe like not, like then you can figure out the maneuvering of how to get where he wants to be. So I don't know. I don't know how to read this one other than I don't think it's all about dollars.
Well, I feel bad that Lamar's from here, and now they're talking about him signing with the Dolphins. And poor Tua. He's had to deal with the Deshaun talk. And then we found out they wanted to get Brady. It's like, I don't know how he goes into work every day when you feel not wanted, although I've been there, so I get it. A couple last questions. My guy Kevin, yeah, we all have. My guy Kevin Hughes, he's in Airdrie, Alberta. He's a medium. And he says, good morning, RP. Thoughts on Seattle this year, Cynthia? I would think as a medium you would know, Kevin. But what are yours? What are yours, Cynthia?
That's funny. I was up there at training camp back in July, and it didn't feel like the type of, usually around the Seahawks, you can't imagine a world where there's not at least a strong opportunity for double-digit wins. But, it seems like it's a bit of like a remaking year, right? Like there's obviously no Russell Wilson. It's, they signed DK Metcalf, of course, but there's a lot of questions around the quarterback position. But there's also a lot of questions around that defense. Who's going to rush the passer? I mean, is it going to be Jamal Adams? Because, okay, that's untraditional. But, I think it remains to be seen how it works out. Now, I don't think they're going to be a 2-win team, but I don't think this is a team that's going to be contending come the end of the season.
I think we have less than a minute to go, so I just want to ask you, here in South Florida, when you make a road trip, wherever you go, I see people get all excited. Do you have your schedule, like a team, planned out for the whole year, or what are you looking at?
I get to be in studio. So for me, I pretty much go to whoever's at SoFi. So I really do get a chance to see a lot of different teams come through, because with both the Chargers and the Rams being here in LA, like that's great for me. So unfortunately though, I work, my schedule is in the studio at SoFi Stadium, for 4 or 5 days per week. Well,
I know for a fact we will see you at Super Bowl in Glendale. Cynthia, I know how busy you are. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Enjoy the games.
Got it. Thanks for having me. Have a great day. Stay out of that rain.
Yeah, I will. Trust me, I will. I'm actually going to cover my Jeep after this. NFL data science expert Cynthia Frelund joining us from Los Angeles. When we come back, viewer takeover and a sports update. It is a Football Friday. You're watching on the Game Plus television network. You're listening at rodpeterson.com and 99.1 WQEE in Atlanta, your home of Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
I gotta hit the beat.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
The venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Don't they? And I can tell you wherever that is a long ways from here where it is pouring. Are we good now? Okay. I'll get to the your comments in a moment. But a sports update here on this Friday. The Premier League has postponed its upcoming round of matches as a mark of respect following the death of Queen Elizabeth. That adds to the cancellation of high-profile golf, cricket, and horse racing events across Britain today. England's top flight clubs met and said they wanted to, quote, pay tribute to Her Majesty's long and unwavering service to our country, unquote. The English Football League, the 3 divisions below the Premier League, also called off their games scheduled through the weekend. Here's one for the lacrosse fans. The 2022 NLL entry draft will be held on Saturday, September the 10th, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern at the historic The Carlou in downtown Toronto. This year's first round will be available for the first time on tsn.ca and the TSN app in Canada and ESPN Plus here in the USA, with additional rounds covered in real time on NLL social channels and the NLL website. It marks the first and most extensive live coverage of the NLL draft in the league's history. And you want to talk about what's exciting? Yeah, the Saskatchewan Rush are our home team, but you got teams in the markets watching this show, i.e. Calgary, obviously, Vancouver, the Toronto Rock that play in Hamilton, Halifax, hello, Maritime viewers. And how about those Georgia Swarm in Duluth, Georgia, just down the road from where we air in Metro Atlanta, Noonan, Georgia, specifically, WQEE. This sports update for Edo, Japan. With more than 160 restaurants nationwide, Edo, Japan is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated for more than 40 years. You want to know why we're growing? You're starting to see why. Working in tandem with a lot of these wonderful leagues. By the way, we have a winner. I want to tell you right now, Rose Henry in Edmonton. Can I call an audible, guys, and say she's won the Landmark Cinema tickets, movie passes, and concession gift certificates? Rose Henry.
Approved.
For our staff watching back in the sweatpants capital. I want Rose to win. She enters all the time. I don't believe she's won yet. Rose Henry, her number's in the phone. Dan McCabe is watching in the Queen City. He's texted the 902 line, and he says, morning RP show, in your opinion, what's the reason for the Tampa Bay Rays' continual poor attendance? You would think they would be a team to root for because of their low salary spending. Oh, only 30 seconds left. I missed the 1 minute cue. The reason being, after having been in Florida now for so long, people don't like to be inside. That's the sense I get. We can kick this over till next hour. Floridians don't like to be inside. Outdoor stadiums for the Buccaneers and the Dolphins and the Marlins, at least a retractable roof. They don't want to be inside. Poor attendance, that's why. We'll see you after this break on a Football Friday on Game Plus and WQEE.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Deal or No Deal, CFL Edition, Week 13, with the BC Lions at the Montreal Alouettes. BC's favored on the road by 3.5 without naming their starting quarterback. Deal or No Deal?
I'll take the deal.
To wind up Week 13 in the Canadian Football League, the Calgary Stampeders visit the Edmonton Elks Saturday night. Calgary's favored by 10. Deal or no deal?
No deal here. No deal.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hour 2 of a Football Friday. I can't tell you how excited I am, and the biggest reason is the guest that we're going to bring in here in moments, our Director of Scouting, 2-time Grey Cup champion, Craig Smith. He'll be with us right away, and the beautiful thing about Craig is he's a fabulous person, and I know he's listening right now. Smitty, I think I just want to call you and talk more than anything, but we're going to talk ball, NFL, CFL, NCAA, USports. He can talk about it all. This has been his life. Our Director of Scouting, Craig Smith. We do have news on the eve of the Banjo Bowl in the Canadian Football League. It's nothing, well, it's major, but it's not. Let me just say, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Saskatchewan Roughriders stand together. This has come from the Blue Bombers, a statement today, in remembering and honoring the victims of the horrific tragedy that took place in James Smith Cree Nation and the village of Weldon, Saskatchewan. Both teams will wear special commemorative stickers on their helmets during Saturday's game, and a moment of silence will be held prior to kickoff. The stickers will bear the letters JSCN for James Smith Cree Nation in red, the color of healing in Cree culture. So just the Bombers just continue to do all the right things. Congratulations to them and the Riders for doing this as we go into a massive football weekend. Let's bring in our Director of Scouting, Craig Smith, and I'll tell everybody that we had our NFL Network's data science expert, Cynthia Frelund, last hour. Smitty, we got them. We got all the greats today. Nice to see you, partner.
Well, good
how are you?
Well, you know, I've been better, but I've got a lot of issues, but I still have my brain, and I still watch a lot of football. So, and hey, how about Cynthia? Is she something? It's just incredible. It's just, you love watching her on the NFL Network and what she brings and just the knowledge that she has. It's incredible.
Yeah, she has a tremendous and positive vibe about her that I love.
Yeah.
It just makes you want to watch NFL football. So, listen, man, where do you want to start? I don't know where you want. I'll tell you where, if you don't mind. CFL first, because that's your league. BC Lions at Montreal tonight. Are you surprised that Vernon Adams doesn't get to start at quarterback for the BC Lions 10 days after they acquired him in a trade?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I know that, like, I listened to a podcast and Neil was on there and he had mentioned something about Pipkin taking all the reps, so I figured Pipkin was going to be the guy. And, it'll take a little while for Vernon. I'm concerned about Vernon and his injuries, that he's had. And hopefully he's healthy, and I'm sure they would check it out. But that's a concern with me. But Pipkin will be the guy, and who knows if he's not effective. Pipkin is one of those quarterbacks. He can be inconsistent. He shows flashes. He has all the tools. And how many times have we said that about a quarterback? And, so if he's ineffective, maybe Vernon will get in there. And it'll be interesting to see how Vernon goes, because there's another guy. He's talented, but he can also be a little inconsistent. It's a tough thing, playing quarterback in our league. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to USports, you name it, NFL, college, Alabama, Texas. Holy cow.
I think I saw the line on my Crimson Tide against my good buddy Steve Sarkisian's Longhorns. It's like 14 points, maybe 20 points. Something just ridiculous. It might be 20 points. Alabama favored going into Austin. But anyways, we'll get to that. That's the thing. Smitty, you're with me for 40 minutes today, correct? Am I not? Am I right on that?
I can be here, yeah. Well,
okay, because it seems like the time, it just goes by far too long. Do you have Jasper with you today, by the way, your friend's dog Jasper, or no?
No, it's another one. It's our neighbor's dog, and Hallie, we take care of that one too. So, I mean, we kind of take care of the dogs, and they love coming over, and we love having them. It's helped me a great deal,
Oh, absolutely. Pets are so important. And here's the thing. I said this last week, I'll say it again. I don't wear Rider stuff on this show not because I'm anti-Rider, it's because I'm pro-CFL. We have a lot of viewers in Winnipeg and Sask, of course, and we're going to get to that game, the Banjo Bowl, in a second. But we got a ton in BC on Telus Optic Cable and a ton in Quebec on East Link and Videotron and Rogers. So I want to spend just a little more time on this game tonight, sort of in the form of a pregame show. Montreal and BC. I saw Neil Mack, or who was it? Somebody said, no, it was Rick Campbell, the head coach of the Lions, saying Antonio will start, but he anticipates seeing VA at some point in the football game tonight. I think you got to get him on the field at some point. Can you imagine how motivated he would be going in there?
Oh, big time fired up, that's for sure. I mean, he going to where he had some success and going in to play them, he would definitely be a fired up quarterback to get in there, and hopefully he does. It'd be very neat to see. That team is an incredible team this year. I mean, Rourke was, I don't know that I ever saw something like that, the way he was, his pinpoint passing. And even my wife, when we were watching games, she would go, man, did you see that throw? Just such a neat thing to see. And we'll see what happens tonight. It'll be quite interesting.
Well, I should mention, there is a triple header on Saturday, and it begins with Toronto at Ottawa. The Argos are favored by 2 with our exclusive betting partner, Bet Regal. Is Ottawa turning the corner, Smitty? What do you see? What do you see there?
Absolutely. I went back and looked at the schedule, and, they played Winnipeg tough to start with, when they had Mazzoli. Mazzoli, I think he played 4 games, but they had trouble winning. But they still were in a lot of these games. And I think the last couple weeks they've had better quarterbacking. And, me, I know all those guys. I know Lapo, I know Benny, I know Dice, and those guys are excellent coaches. And, they'll find a way to get it done. And I truly believe that they're on the rise, and they're going to be I texted Tina, Paul's wife, and I said, you know what? You're not far from first place right now. So, that'll be a very interesting game. And, Toronto, geez. up and down, and some games they look like world beaters and during the game, and in the same game they won't. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Where's that game again? Where is it, in Toronto?
In Ottawa. It's in Ottawa.
So let's get her going. Let's see what happens. But I really truly believe Ottawa's on the rise.
Well, one more on this one from Kevin Hughes. He's a buddy of mine in Alberta. He's a BC Lions fan. He's a medium, okay, Smitty? He speaks to the dead, or in his term, people that have passed over to the other side. He says, hey, Rod, take this one to the bank. Your favorite medium says BC Lions over Montreal tonight. And from viewer Andrew, he says, I will take Rick Campbell over Danny Machocha in this coaching matchup. But I don't know where the bulk of our viewers are. It used to be Sask and Winnipeg, but then for a time it was Alberta. But they're all CFL fans. We all want to talk about the Banjo Bowl. Winnipeg's favored by 7.5. You've worked for both teams, so I can't imagine you have a rooting interest in this game, or do you?
Not really. I mean, I have friends all over the place, and I kind of root for people. And even when I went to do the NFL training camps, when I went in there and they treated me so well, I kind of cheered for them. Obviously, Vikings are my team, but I like seeing some good football, and I got to mention about Saskatchewan. A lot of people, when I was in the game, I never ever listened to the shows after the games and stuff like that. But I've been listening to a little bit of that, and people were really slamming the Riders. The Riders, when they first started the first couple of games, they were playing pretty darn good. And Fajardo, and then they ran into some injuries with Dan, the center, going, and Fajardo. You could tell Fajardo just wasn't right. And when you're not right, it's different, especially with his ability to get out. And you remember that first game, he had a run on the sideline, showing some damn good mobility. Well, he the last couple of games, he's been getting better. I'm not saying that they're going to go to the Grey Cup, but I think that they're better than a lot of people give them credit for.
Your record is what you are.
Yeah.
And they're 6-6. And if they lose on Saturday, they're below 500. I keep going back to 2013, and you tell me if that's even fair. You were on that team. Dominic Picard, the center, the tackles Xavier Fulton and Ben Heenan, and the guards Brennan Labatt. And I can't remember the right guard. I should, and it's escaping me. But I just think you lose your center in an important season like this. It's inexcusable that your whole season would go down the toilet. And that's what seems to have happened. The fans don't want to hear about injuries.
Yeah.
You understand that.
That's part of the game. And you take Logan Bandy, who is just his second year, and all of a sudden he's going to be the center. It's a pretty difficult situation for him to be in. And 2013, that was... we went into the Banjo Bowl, and I'll never forget it. I was on the sideline. I couldn't believe how loud it was. And we got our butts kicked by a team that was, I think, 1-7. Darian came out of there. I remember going to the bus afterwards and seeing Darian limp to the bus, because he was having trouble from the game. So you never know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you something. It's a big game for Saskatchewan, more so, I would think. But the way they can win is they have to play almost perfect football, and that's the way I thought going into last week. Is turnovers and penalties can kill you. You know what's happened with the Riders this year and the penalties. It's just been unbelievable. And, of course, what happened last year, penalties hurt them, some turnovers. You will see if they can play. And protecting Cody. I mean, the game that they lost to BC, they gave up 7 sacks. And this is something that they definitely have to do, is protect your quarterback. You can win if you got a good quarterback. There's no two ways about it. You look in the NFL. A lot of teams, I don't think they even have a chance to go to the Super Bowl or win because they don't have that quarterback. And it starts with the quarterback. Obviously, there's so many different things. And then you got to protect that. You got to protect your multi-million-dollar, up in the NFL, not necessarily here, but you got to protect that quarterback. So very much going to be interesting tomorrow to see what happens. It's sold out. It's loud there. I've been on sidelines during the game, and it's a loud place to play, and it should be a fun time.
I think it's going to be an awesome game, and again, Bombers favored by 7.5. This is a huge game, and I want to move on because we have so many viewers in Alberta. We do them the respect of the Stamps Elks game, but I just got to ask you about Garrett Marino. Will it be a case of addition by subtraction for Saskatchewan, you think, to have this headache gone, or how do you think this impacts this game? Personally, I think it will help. It's so funny because a couple of years ago when he first came into the league, somebody asked me, who should, they were going to the game, and I said, who should I be watching? And I told them, a receiver, and then I said Garrett Marino. I mean, I saw training camp, I saw this kid, and I thought, man, this kid is going to be a good player. Well, boy, sure, things turned, but the distraction of that, I think it'll probably be a good thing. I think they'll come together and play for the green and white, and it's a tough situation. I don't think Randy had to put out that memo. I think most of the teams probably wouldn't jump on him, but you never know. You never know in this game. Expect the unexpected, particularly in the CFL, but it's not much different than the other leagues. Your take on Calgary at Edmonton, I'm sure you're not into the betting line, but I'll just say the Stamps are favored by 10. Yeah. It's a pretty good indication of how that game might go. Your thoughts? Well, I think Calgary's been pretty strong, and Mayer is doing a pretty darn good job, and Edmonton has been a lot better. There's no doubt about that. And the quarterbacking is key. What's going to happen behind the center for Edmonton? Are they going to get some good quarterbacking or not? And I think that 10 may be a little much. Playing well. There hasn't been very many fans in Commonwealth, but I can see Calgary coming through and winning that one. Do you see Edmonton getting better on a week-to-week basis? Well, they have. I thought they have, and I'm not the biggest Chris Jones fan. He's the one who released me, got me out of Saskatchewan. So, but I really respect his ability to coach defense, and he's a damn good coach, and he'll get it going. I don't know how far. Quarterbacking is the critical thing. Will he get a quarterback that can take him? He had one in Mike Riley when they won the Grey Cup in Edmonton, but yeah, I think they're getting better. I think their defense. You can still see some of the defensive things that they do, during a game, and it's Chris Jones written all over them, and sometimes it's very difficult. It's like Echeverry. You remember when I was an offensive coach with BC, and we would go play Echeverry in Saskatchewan. Everything was kind of thrown out the window because of what he did. The 7-up, the 8-ball, all these things at the line of scrimmage, and you never knew who was coming. So, I mean, it was a thing to prepare for, and I think Jones had done that in the past. So they're getting better. We are going to take a timeout. Some of the viewers, all of the viewers have comments. Randy from Winnipeg says, what does everyone think of 3 games on a Saturday for the CFL? Andrew says Edmonton's due for a home win. John Ohm in Winnipeg. Ohm says, let's move on from Marino, please. You know us, Johnny. We do the talking, you do the watching. That's how it goes. And he's got thoughts on Chris Jones. When we come back, college football, both Canada and Canada and the United States, more CFL and National Football League 2. It's such an honor to have our director of scouting, Craig Smith, with us. On the way, the inventor of the Banjo Bowl 2, Troy Westwood. It's a Football Friday. You're watching on Game Plus TV, listening at rodpeterson.com and WQEE 99.1 FM in Metro Atlanta, your home of Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
I gotta hit the beat.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sunny in some portions of South Florida, but not where I reside. This Football Friday, as you're going to see in seconds. Big football weekend. The fall is for football. Last weekend, Canada West kicked off. This weekend, NFL kicking off. And joining us to talk about it, our Director of Scouting, Craig Smith. On the way, Troy Westwood, the inventor of the Banjo Bowl, goes back to 2003. Smitty, before we get into the X's and O's, talk of all the leagues. I follow everything that you do and say on social media, and you've been all over America covering the National Football League as a scout. Did I see you say that South Florida is your favorite region of this country?
It's one of them. I have some like we had a place in Texas, nothing spectacular. It was 7 miles from the Mexican border, so I like Texas too. But Florida, if I had the opportunity to do it again, Florida would be a place. I mean, Kathy and I, we've traveled extensively in Florida, and I had heard you say that you were right by the stadium. You lived right by the stadium. What a great area that is. I remember I scouted a bowl game there. Marshall was playing Northern Illinois, And before that, we kind of took a drive around the area, and holy cow, just beautiful, just a beautiful area. I loved going to Florida and all the different areas. I mean, it's not just that area. I mean, we went all over the place. We went down to the Keys, Sanibel Islands. Kathy's one of her favorite spots, and Marco Island, and of course Tampa. How can you not love Tampa? Orlando, up in Jacksonville, really, really nice, and not so much. We haven't been so well. We've been to Pensacola Beach, which is the top of the state, and Florida's a fantastic place. I'll tell you something. Started going down there way back when I first started doing it. I mean, Adam Rita sent me down to do the XFL, and they had training camp there. So I went to Orlando. And then over the years, it just was like, holy cow, just the amount of traffic. I mean, it's I don't know. It seemed like to me it exploded, but just a great place. And you know what? I don't mind what's happening right now in behind you. I mean, I that makes everything all nice and everything like that. And that'll be done, and you'll be in the sun again, and that's such a great area.
Yeah.
Hey, have you
a nice reprieve?
Have you? Are you a seafood guy?
Of course, I like everything.
Billy's Stone Crab, that's one place. That is a fantastic place. Just Google it. Kathy and I have been there. We sat on a table right by the water, and the boats are going by. Just fantastic. And of course, the other one is Joe's Crab Shack in South Beach. Fantastic stuff.
The Hockey Club podcast watching in Tallahassee says North Florida is the best part. Hey, it's all great. It's like comparing pizza and ice cream. Stacy Champagne writes in from Access World headquarters and says, hope you're all doing great, Rod Scott. We are, Stacy. Thank you. And from Jeff in Winnipeg, he says, I love seeing Smitty's posts on Facebook of all the traveling he did for the NFL, CFL, etc. We should spend a second because we are Canada's daytime sports talk show on 3 games tonight in Canada West. It's Calgary at Regina. Rams pulling off a huge upset at Manitoba last week, and the Bisons are at Alberta tonight. Saskatchewan Huskies are home to the UBC Thunderbirds. It'll be a full house at Griffith Stadium. Any of those games stick out to you more than others in Canada West football, Smitty?
I love them all, and I'll be watching them. I bought the Canada West pack, and you get the iPads all in a row. And just like last week, I saw Dupes and Dunk with the call last week, and it was to me it was quite a surprise. And not that the Regina, they should have won more games last year than they did. They were in leads. They beat Calgary last year, but that'll be a neat one to see what happens with regards to Regina and Calgary. Calgary just Saskatchewan, man. Nias just I know Perry and I have gone for lunch, and his son is just lighting it up, and Saskatchewan looks like they could be going to the Vanier again, but it'll be interesting to see how they do. And Alberta, they've turned the corner. They're going to be better. They were better, and Winnipeg, Manitoba kind of beat themselves. They had they turnovers, all these kind of stuff. They're I think they'll be better too. So I'm really looking forward to tonight. All of them are going to be pretty darn good.
Okay, from our viewers, and by the way, storm rolling in here. I think the connection's still good, but this was unexpected, this storm down here right now. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says regarding the seafood talk, he goes, I may have to do a Joey's Only run tonight. It's now Joey's Fish Shack after a rebrand during the pandemic, and I think they're going to come on board with this show. I got to ask you something on the NFL because you follow that so darn closely, Smitty. Just give me your take on this one important game. The Buccaneers at the Cowboys and all that stuff that's been flung at Tom Brady. I'm a Cowboys fan. You're the Vikings fan. I'm worried. I'm worried because I never bet against Tom, but it's my team he's playing. What do you see happening Sunday night at America's Stadium?
Well, the big thing for me is to see how Tom is protected. They've lost a couple of key pieces on that offensive line, and he needs protection. He ain't going to be running out of the pocket and saving his butt. So that's a critical thing. If they can protect them, I think that Tampa will be good, and I think Tampa could be back in the Super Bowl again. But it all depends on protection. They still have a lot of the pieces that are there, and the thing is, I've got a good friend that's a quarterback coach in Dallas, and Doug Nussmeier, and I wherever he goes, I cheer for him. And I wasn't a real big Cowboy fan before, but they've got some pieces, but getting that offensive line hurt, that the tackle, that's a critical thing, and you don't want your tackle. They've got Jason Peters has come in there, so we'll see how he's old though, but we'll see how he does. But
wow.
They've got pieces.
Yeah, out of necessity.
Yeah.
Out of necessity.
Yeah.
They got him. But I got to ask you this: all of football, because you've worked across all the leagues. I saw a criticism of the Cowboys with this. They said you got two coordinators, Kellen Moore on offense and Dan Quinn on defense, who want to be head coaches, so their head isn't being successful where they are. And I thought, everybody in football wants to move up. That's just grasping for something to poke crap at. But you know that. It seems like everybody wants the job that is up the ladder from what they have in that business.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that's a silly comment, because anybody that's in the NFL and they've got a job, they do the job, and you wouldn't believe how many hours that those guys are putting in, and they're full bore on what they're doing. Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator. Quinn is the defensive coordinator. He had opportunities, Quinn did, possibly to go to be the head coach. He stayed there. Those guys are full bore on being where they're at. Whatever happens after. Do good work and things will happen.
Take care of the job in front of you.
Yep.
Right? Guys, I'm going to ask Smitty for his Super Bowl pick and favorites, and then I'm going to put the camera on him. I just got to have to move some stuff around here because this storm moving in here is rather unscheduled, and it's making me a little nervous. So, Smitty, as we are one game into the NFL regular season, who are your picks to represent the NFC and the AFC?
Well, before yesterday's game, I thought the Buffalo Bills would be the team that was going to represent. They were so darn good last year, and that game against Kansas City was incredible, and they lost that one. How many seconds were left? And Mahomes drove them down, and they had that game won, and Davis he exploded in that game. They've got so much, and then you watched last night, and holy moly, just a dominating performance in LA against a darn good team. I can see them being Super Bowl champs finally. I would love to say my Vikings, but I don't think so. I'm looking forward to seeing what O'Connell can do. But, as a Viking fan, it's really hard for me to say this, but quarterbacks are the big thing, right? And I said that how many times? And Aaron Rodgers is still, until something happens, and I know that he lost Adams. But, man, he's so good, and it kills me, because I'm a Viking fan. But I could see what happens if, like I said, if they can protect Brady, I could see them going too. It's so tough so early, It's a very difficult thing.
Of course. Well, quite interesting. Last hour, I think you saw the interview with Christina Frelund, or Cynthia Frelund here on the program. I'm looking at my cousin Christina from Medicine Hat writing in. She said the Vikings analytically could surprise. So your take on that, and also, how big of a believer are you in analytics as a football guy?
Well, I don't know what goes into it. I don't know specifics, but there's obviously something to it. And I love listening to Cynthia and stuff that she brings, and breaking things down with regards to stats and stuff like that. But you got to play the game, and the Vikings have some weapons. They have two unbelievable receivers, a running back that's pretty damn good, and as long as he stays healthy, and that's the other thing, stay healthy. I think they've helped out with the offensive line. Their defense, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Cynthia mentioned it before. This year was weird because they had the 3 preseason games. When I used to go scout, that third preseason game was not very good for the Canadian Football League because a lot of the starters would play. I remember going to New England at Gillette Stadium, and Brady went into the fourth quarter in the third game, and it was like, oh man, I wanted to see some other, that type of thing. So now it's a little different. Now a lot of the starters, they went and they had more combined practices than I've ever seen, and a lot of the starters would do that. They would get reps in that. So a lot of starters, they didn't play in that, and I think it will hamper for a little bit. But hey, analytics, there's something to it. I think you have to combine it, and coaches, they sit down and they break down the film, 1st and 10. What do they do? 2nd, all that kind of stuff. So, and then they come with the game plan. What works against this? It's a fascinating thing, and the amount of time that they put in is incredible.
It's a great tool. Mm-hmm. We only got a couple minutes left here. Troy Westwood moving in next, but just tell the story real quickly in a minute, and I might have to cut you off if we run out of time.
No
but
problem.
Corey Sheets, you found him down here in Miami on the Dolphins practice roster. Goes on to set a Grey Cup record. Hell of a story.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in camp, and I watched, and I looked, and I went, wow. And then I talked to the Miami guys, and they said, well, who knows? I'm not sure if he's going to make it. Yeah, again, I've never been the guy to make the decisions. It's always, you lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink, right? So he was one of the guys that that I put forth, and Corey was just a heck of a back for us, and I'll never forget in the Grey Cup when Durant fumbled, and the ball didn't fly into Picard's hands. It flew into Corey's hands, and I think
hands.
I think that was the biggest gain that day, or something like that. But that was pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing, what people don't understand, I don't think, is that these guys are physical freaks.
Oh.
Like I'm 6'3", as you know, and Sheets' legs are as long as mine. He's got this tiny little torso and really long, powerful legs, and it worked for him as a ball carrier in pro football. Smitty, you're the best. Great to see you. I hope we can do this again soon. Sure. And my best to Kathy, the best girl around. Yeah. And enjoy the football this weekend.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much. And, hey, have some fun down there. That's a great area.
Absolutely, we are. There, our director of scouting, Craig Smith, joining us. I almost said the best chick around, and I thought that might not be appropriate. The nice girl around. Troy Westwood next. Sports update coming up, too. It's a Football Friday on Game Plus Television. We're also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM-certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big, and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
All right, here we go, everybody, on a massive weekend for football. As we've said many times, fall is for football. Week 2 in Canada West football, Week 1 in the National Football League, Week 2 of the NCAA, Week 14 in the CFL. And I'm going to open this up right now if we can bring him in. Troy Westwood, I'm going to tell you right now, Troy, I appreciate you, and frankly, I love you, I'll say it, so much. 18 seasons with the Blue Bombers, multiple All-Star in the Canadian Football League, and dude, I'm checking your Wikipedia right now. It has on here the inventor of the Banjo Bowl. So what's going through you this weekend here with this game? All your namesake in a way. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? What are you feeling?
First of all, brother, I got to comment on your surroundings again. I don't know where the hell you are, but every time I happen to see you, there's freaking palm trees around you, right? Like, just holy smackers, man.
Life is good. Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah. Boca Raton specifically.
Awesome. It's well deserved, brother. But this is always a fun week, man. In the grocery store in a lineup and looking over to left or right, and you see a couple folks there standing in Rider jerseys, and just kind of wiggle the eyebrows at them and a smile back, or in traffic looking over, and sure as heck there'll be somebody there from Saskatchewan, just the glances back and forth and the little statements. One of my very favorite weeks of the year, and just an absolute honor and pleasure to have played a small role in it.
You're funny. A small role. Listen, here's from Troy's Wikipedia. Folks, go look it up. It says Troy Westwood is known for stirring things up off-field. He's tried his hand at professional boxing and tap dancing, had a public feud with Ed Fillion. He's arguably most known for his tongue-in-cheek insult of the Saskatchewan Roughriders fans by calling them banjo-pickin' inbreds. And there's more, but that's the... Was it 2003? Because, Troy, there's a lot of people that don't even know how this started. You know that, right? It's been going so long. People don't even know.
I honestly, I do not recall what year it was. And actually, when I made the statement, when I first called the fans in Saskatchewan banjo-pickin' inbreds, that went over without even that wasn't even noticed or recognized. There was nothing. It was the apology. Apologizing to the fantastic people of Saskatchewan. I never should have called them banjo-pickin' inbreds. The vast majority of people there have no clue how to play the banjo. That's what got all the attention, right? So, but, with my mom's family being from Saskatchewan and my dad and uncles always going to the Labor Day games for me as a kid, watching, and when the Bombers, for a while there in the East and the West, in the East and the West, and just watching my favorite rivalry as a kid, watching it sort of dissipate and lose a bunch of the oomph that it had. I always felt it was my duty, especially with my mom's family being from Saskatchewan. It was always kind of my duty to stoke the fire as much as I could.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can guarantee you that the Riders organization has always had a problem with the moniker, and even this current regime apparently has gone out of their way to try and get it stopped. And I'm like, you guys, lighten up.
Yeah,
lighten up. Take a joke. But anyways, so it's sold out. So before we talk about the matchup, do you take some pride in this? I guess you kind of just said that. You should.
Well, I'm independently wealthy now, and I've been told by Wade Miller that there's some consideration of a bronze statue going up beside Bud Grant. So it's turned out well for me. But I guess it's just, you know what it feels like, man, when the Labor Day game comes around, and then with this fantastic back-to-back situation, it's like a warm blanket that kind of goes around me for 1 week of the year, where just to be a part of it and to see each year that goes by that the rivalry is good and strong, and people were the exact same people, Manitobans and Saskatchewans, obviously, or folks from Saskatchewan, obviously. So just to see what is my favorite rivalry and seeing everybody have so much fun with it. And now, thank goodness, for a while now, we've had the game on a Saturday, right? So people can come in a little early on Friday, absolutely go bananas on Saturday, and hopefully recover quickly enough to get back into Saskatchewan sometime Sunday. It's just a fantastic, fun festival of football, man. It's great.
Well, bravo, and it's going to be fantastic again. Like I said, another sellout. Now, you played for the Bombers. You covered them. A lot of nasty kicks to the Nards that franchise took for a long time. Now they're delivering the kicks to the Nards. So how's that feel?
It's so cool. I was joking around with some friends last week that there's going to be an entire generation of Bomber fans that'll be like, there was a drought, right? What drought? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Like a couple of generations of 30 years there of hardship for Bomber fans, Bomber players, a bunch of losers walking around like Milt Stegall and Doug Brown that never won the Grey Cup, and now it's like Grey Cup, they just fall out of the sky. So it's great. I just love it, man. What the Canadian Mafia with Miller, Walters, and O'Shea, what they've accomplished, and it's just they're on track now, man. It might go back to back to back. Like, holy smackers, they're looking strong, and it's just what they've created. RP, you have to, even if you can't stand the Bombers, you got to tip your cap to what they're doing.
Well, buddy, Wade's always been great to me. Even when he played, he's been great to me. And Richie Hall is like family, and obviously O'Shea doesn't seem like a warm and fuzzy guy, but I know he does things the right way, right? So you can't take anything away from what they've done. So having said all of that, what do you think happens on Saturday in this game?
Well, I see that the Bombers on a 5-game winning streak against the Riders, and they've only allowed the Riders an average of 13 points per game during that run. And the Bombers, I tell you the biggest difference, if the game's going to be close, RP, like it was last week, and the Bombers thus far this season have been in 8 games decided by a touchdown or less. And what is helping them to pull it out of the fire, and what seems to be the kryptonite for those in green and white, comes down to discipline. Right? The Bombers are putting themselves in position to capture victories in close games. And one of the great assets they have in that is their level of discipline and not giving games away, allowing the other team across the field there to make mistakes, whatever it might be, get those flags tossed around the field. And it just gives a great advantage that seems to come down at crunch time, really seems to be an asset that weighs those close games in their favor. So I don't think this game's going to be as close as last week. I am predicting the Bombers win by 15. But that whole thing of discipline, RP, and what the Bombers are able to do under the leadership of Mike O'Shea and everybody being in the same mindset and just playing super high-level disciplined football, it is one of the great assets of this organization right now.
They might be stronger this year than they've been the last 2, and that's a scary feeling for other teams, I would think. Arlen Bruce III writes in, he says, I played in the Banjo Bowl twice. It feels like NFL training camp mixed with spring ball and an exhibition game all in one. Wow. Yeah, it is special. It is. Nobody can wait until kickoff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Troy, what's the update on you? How you doing, brother?
Doing fantastically, man. We have a fantastic job. Family's happy and healthy. My son's 14 years old. I coach he and a great group of young men for soccer, and we're just loving and enjoying life, my friend.
Looks like you might be spending a little time in the gym. Am I correct on that?
Forever, till death, brother. 5 days a week, and it's a healthy addiction is what it is.
Yeah, good for you, man. Keep it up. Enjoy the game. Appreciate the time, as always.
Always a pleasure, brother. All the very best to you.
The inventor of the Banjo Bowl. If we didn't cover it well enough here, insert Troy Westwood. Google. All you need to know is there. One final segment of the week coming up next. We call it Overtime and Viewer Takeover. I'd love to know what you have to say heading into this second weekend of September. It's the RP Show on the Game Plus television network, live streaming on YouTube daily. And also, you can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Amazon, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day. The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Number 16, a legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, here we go. It is the final segment of the week. It's called Overtime. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home not only for the National Football League, UFC, but also the Banjo Bowl, too. Why not watch it in a group? That's always fun. I'm just checking the comments here. Mark Frank, where is he? Mark Frank. He says, where is Mark? Okotoks, Alberta, he's watching. He says, Rod, paint your fence. It's usually, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Maybe that would be a good weekend project. You never know what I might find back there, like another piss bottle. Remember that last week, guys?
How about that?
From Metal Shingle Guy in Regina, he says, did Troy Westwood ever win a Grey Cup, or was his 18 years part of the drought? Are you trolling? Do you not know that? Do the math, dude. Or look up Wikipedia. No, he never won a Grey Cup. Anybody who played in Winnipeg between 1991 and 2018 never won a Grey Cup, and he was right in there. Played in a few. That's why I'm talking about the kicks to the nards, which reminds me, by the way, Robin is watching in Prince Albert, and he says, haven't used that or haven't heard that term since high school. Nards. He goes, did he just say kick in the nards? LOL, haven't heard that since junior high school. Love it. Hashtag retro. Well, you can always count on me to bring up 80s sayings. Now the comments are just getting goofy, so I'm going to get into a sports update on this Friday. The Toronto Blue Jays open a 3-game series in Texas tonight. The Jays have won 8 of their last 10 games, while the Rangers have dropped 9 of 10. Ross Stripling will take the mound for Toronto. Dane Dunning gets the start for the Rangers. And the Atlanta Braves, of course, our favorite National League team. They open a series at Seattle tonight as they conclude a road trip. Those Braves in contention for the NL Eastern lead. As we said off the top, wouldn't it be something if the Blue Jays and Braves met in the World Series? Could happen. Major League Baseball is set to announce a pitch clock and limits on defensive shifts next season in an effort to shorten games and increase offense. The sport's 11-man competition committee is set to adopt the rule changes today, mandating a pitch clock that will count down 15 seconds with no runners on base and 20 seconds with runners. Now you got me thinking about the fence. I don't own it, so I would have to probably get permission to paint the fence. I get it. Or I could just position the camera in another way, but I don't own the fence. You get it, right? The Vancouver Whitecaps will be without their leading scorer for the rest of the month after Major League Soccer's disciplinary committee handed Lucas Cavallini a 4-game suspension and an undisclosed fine this week. The Canadian international received a red card for stepping on an opponent's head in Vancouver's 3-0 loss to Nashville on August 27th. You can't do that? The Montreal Alouettes host the BC Lions in the lone game on tonight's Canadian Football League schedule. Former Alouettes quarterback Antonio Pipkin will get the start for the Lions against his old team. He'll be backed up by Vernon Adams, another former Alouette, whom BC acquired from Montreal last week in exchange for a first-round draft pick. Haven't you loved all the CFL talk today? I would hope you have. And I should mention for our viewers, look at all these markets that are just revved up here heading into the fall. Winnipeg, home of Capital Ford. Regina, home of Capital GMC, Capital Ford. Calgary, home to Capital GMC. Same thing for Edmonton. You're buying a vehicle this fall, you probably are. Make Capital your number one choice to do that. This sports update, though, by the way, is brought to you by Dark Horse Bets. It's Woodbine's easy-to-use betting app that brings the excitement of live stream horse races right to you. Its AI-powered insights and strategies help you make smarter bets straight out of the gate. Download the app for free at playdarkhorse.com. Available for Android and Apple devices. Also for Ballers Rec Room, your official home of Slow Pitch, open Wednesday to Sunday. For the Tap Brewhouse and drive-through liquor store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. We got 4 minutes here, which is actually an eternity in television time, but not in radio time. And I guess in some markets we are airing on the radio, soon to be more. Here's one. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, who would argue if you wanted to paint their fence? You'd be surprised. Way, way back. Almost 30 years ago, living in Saskatoon, I was renting there, cleaned out the entire yard, and wanted a discount off my rent. And the landlord's like, I didn't ask you to do that. So at that point, I'm like, why would I do any yard work in a house that I don't own? Does that make sense?
Bingo!
But you have all met now Britt, if you were watching, Britt, our landlord, who made a cameo here a couple weeks ago. So I'm sure Britt wouldn't have a problem with it. John Ohm says, Rod, what's up for the weekend? Trying to decide which football game to go to. And I appreciate you asking that, because there's Cardinal Gibbons High School, which they were talking about on the radio down here today. Cardinal Gibbons High School, Matt DeBuck, the CFL alum, look it up, is their head coach, number 32 ranked team in America, American high school football. They're home tonight, but I don't think I'll go. I went last Friday. Probably just going to stay home tonight and watch the Alouettes and BC Lions. Probably a little Netflix. Saturday, probably go for a drive, maybe a walk, and going to go to the Florida Atlantic University Owls against Southeast Louisiana University, because the stadium is walking distance from me in Boca Raton. And then on Sunday, I still have not yet decided if I'm going to take in the New England Patriots and Miami Dolphins. My guess is probably. You have to understand, it's no different than you people, or maybe not. I don't know how far you live from McMahon Stadium, but it's an all-day thing. Last Dolphins game I went to 3 weeks ago, I went last minute of play in the RP show this week. I went 3 hours early to the game, and I needed all of that to figure out what parking lot I was in, and it took that long to get to the game. Now, I got into the suite 90 minutes before kickoff, so I probably didn't need all that time, but I'm not sure I want to burn a day going to the National Football League when I could just watch it on television. And I'm waiting to hear from the Dolphins. You're asking about golf. There will not be any golf. There won't be any golf for me. So thank you to our guests today, Cynthia Frelund from NFL Network, Craig Smith, our director of scouting, and the great Troy Westwood, the inventor of the Banjo Bowl. This is kind of felt like a rockin' it old school type show today because of a lot of CFL talk. It was amazing. We are the CFL's #1 podcast, so thank you for that. Enjoy the ball, everybody, and we'll see you Monday at noon Eastern here on the old RP.
Who has more fun than us?
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Good one, Rod.